So my name's Nick Yeung, I'm the psychology tutor here, and I teach in the area of cognitive psychology and cognitive neuroscience, which is also the research specialism, where I do human brain imaging studies, particularly focused on memory and attention. In terms of hobbies, well, I used to have hobbies, but now I have a 6-month old daughter instead. So there are two real qualities I suppose I look for in an applicant: enthusiasm for the subject and aptitude. So in terms of enthusiasm, I think what really matters is that's really important because we expect our students to work pretty hard here, so a good working week of 30 or 40 hours. So unless you're enthusiastic about the subject, I don't think you'll be very happy. Aptitude, I suppose, are a couple of things to emphasise. One would be analytic skills, and the other would be creativity. So I think creativity is important because people are complicated. So in psychology, you need to think about reasons why people behave in the way they do or think the thoughts that they do. And then the analytical skills to think about how you can run experiments to test between those different explanations. My top tip for interviews? Well, I suppose inevitably when you come into an interview you'll be a bit nervous, but to the extent that you can see it as a conversation or a discussion rather than a test, I think that would be my top tip. And I guess that's a general tip. The specific version of that would be to really think about the questions you're being asked. So in a conversation or a discussion, it's important to engage with the person asking you questions and think about why they're asking you. And then, if you're not sure, think about it. Take a moment to think, and if you're not sure, ask for clarification. What will I wear at interviews? Well, something a little bit smarter than this, but not too much smarter. I'll probably just tuck my shirt in. The candidate choose Univ. I think actually, I probably shouldn't say this, and maybe you'll edit this out, but I don't think it matters too much what college you choose. What I like about Univ, I find it a really forward-looking place, which is a funny thing to say about a 750-year-old institution, but I think it really is, and that's reflected, for example, in the fact that Univ does more work than any other college in terms of going out and talking to teachers and students in schools about coming to Oxford and encouraging people to apply. And when people get here, we have the most generous bursary scheme. So I think those are two reasons why I find Univ a really good place. An ideal essay for me is one that really thinks about the question and engages with it, and so that the student has written an answer that's really come from their own thinking. And that plays then through into a really good tutorial where the person or the students really want to get into the discussion and say, here's what I think, what do you think about that? And then it's that conversation again. So we're going back to what I said about interviews being a conversation. Somewhere fun in Oxford. I suppose what I would say is that we have a tendency for students and tutors here to get too focused on the half square mile of the university where all the colleges and departments are. So I would say it's fun to get out of that half square mile. And a good place to go is if you walk south down the river, you get to a nice pub called the Isis Farmhouse, which you can only reach by the river or by foot, and it's a lovely place to spend a sunny Sunday afternoon.